Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Sun City, Arizona. Sorry, just a slight mental blank. It's the ash blondes. Had an ash blonde moment. So how has your shaken up Saturday been? Have you got out there shaking things up a little bit? Had your day shaken up? I've done a little bit of both. So Shaken Up Saturday is all about doing things out of the norm, doing things that you wouldn't normally do. Maybe finding a new hobby, learning a new thing. Who's cooking something different for dinner tonight? That was one of the things we had suggested today. So what did you do to shake up your Saturday? We started the day with yesterday I went and ordered a box of printer ink for my printer because I had no idea where the spare cartridges were that I had got back in September last year. Couldn't find them anywhere. Searched high and low, couldn't find them. So I thought I need this. I need my genealogy stuff that I can, the forms that I print off when I'm researching, because I like to spread things out a little bit, even though I don't have the space to spread things out. So I went and got and ordered the printer cartridges. They were delivered last night. I was like, yes, I can get in today, pull the printer out, get some of my genealogy forms filled, printed off, so I have a stock of them because I'm down to the last two, and I was getting a little concerned because I'm a pen and paper person, and me writing stuff down in a notebook instead of putting it on forms like these. That's very, and there's a whole bunch of other forms here too, but these are the ones I use the most. These are the family group sheets from Ancestry, so I always like to have a good stock of those. But I thought, I need to get them printed. There's other stuff I have to get printed, so I went and ordered the cartridges. Now, we all know Murphy's Law with things like this, don't we? So I had the box here on the table ready. I cleared the desk to make room for the printer because even though it's only a small portable printer, it takes up the entire width of the table. And how does a printer that's about this long and about this wide and about this high do that? Very simple. You sit it on one end, the paper goes in at the top, it comes out the bottom, and of course you've got the width of the table and it shoots it out the bottom. So this sits at the edge of the table here and stops the papers going onto the floor. So yes, it takes up a bit of space. And so I cleared the tabletop off, so there'll just be the laptop and the printer on here. Was pulling things down from the locker up there, and I thought, what on earth is in that white bag? And it was this little white bubbly bag, and all I could see was this of it. And I thought, what the heck's in that? So I pulled it out. Printer cartridges. It's like, damn it. But, so I opened up the printer, used one of the color ones, one of the black ones, got it up and running. So now I have two black and one color spare cartridges, and this one has, if I remember correctly, it has 3 colors and 5 blacks in here for the ink cartridges. So now I'm well and truly stocked with ink. I should not have an issue running out. It is just a matter of when I need to print stuff off is making sure I have the space to do it. So yes, so we tried using the printer. Did a test run. This was the first test run. There's no color on it except the blue. I was sort of like, what? And by the time I gave up with it, it did have a little more color in there, and that was after doing 2 deep cleans on the heads on these things. There's a way that you can do deep cleans on the nozzles, and so I did a couple of cleans, a couple of deep cleans, and I can barely get the color to print out. But on the forms that had color on it, it didn't turn out too bad, so that's okay. You can at least tell the difference between the blue and the red, although it's actually blue and orange, but that's okay. I can print. Yay. So, and they said, of course, they give you the warning, says, this will consume ink. And I'm sitting there going, well, I have 2 black cartridges, 1 color there. I've got 5 black cartridges and 3 color here. I think I'm good. So, yeah, that was that. And then, of course, on Genealogy and History today, we revealed that today was the 58th anniversary of the premiere of James Bond's very first movie, Dr. No, which of course had Sean Connery in it. And today was the 58th anniversary. It was on this day in 1963. The movie actually came out in 62, but it was the first day. It was on this day in 1963. It was premiered here in the US. So in honor of that 58th occasion, our movie night tonight is going to be Dr. No. Funny how that works out. And then with Mailbox Power releasing the gorgeous cheese boards with all the little tools in it, or the charcuterie board, whatever you want to call it. It's this beautiful bamboo board, and it's got a little drawer at the bottom, which has got your little knives and serving implements in there. Um, I thought maybe I should learn something about charcuterie, and I thought because I really don't know a lot about it. So that was my something to shake up. Well, shaking up the day was finding these guys when I just ordered this last night, but then I figured that was Murphy's Law. So I thought, well, I'll go and learn about charcuterie boards. So it's very interesting. There's a whole art form for that. I was sort of like, this is very detailed. And I'm like going to different sites. They're telling you how to assemble these things about color and texture. And I'm like, I didn't realize there was so much involved in putting a charcuterie board together. And I was like thinking, that kind of sounds like fun. And I thought, I wonder what I have in my fridge and freezer, freezer, and pantry that I could make my own little charcuterie board. Well, I had some cold meats and some cheeses, some prunes, some nut mix, some craisins. What else did I put on there? I think that was it. Yeah. And so I made that up for and a protein bar. And so I cut up the protein bar, and so it was in little bites. I made it so I didn't have to use implementation with anything. And put together, and just got my plate out and made my own little individual charcuterie board, and had that for lunch today. And it was actually pretty good. I thought, okay, I just sort of thought like, these cheese balls, just throw a bunch of cheeses on there and crackers. But oh no, there's a whole artwork to doing this. And I'm sort of like, okay, so I can't put light colors together. I'm trying to remember what I'd learned on the different sites I'd visit. You can't put light colors together. You got to separate them. You got to have pops of color. And I'm like, well, apart from the craisins, everything's kind of the bland coloring. So yeah, it kind of ended up being a little bland looking. But I thought, for a first time, it's not too bad. So when I do some shopping, I thought I had some dried apricots. It turned out I didn't, because that would have been a really good pop of color on there. But dried fruits, cheeses, meats, all of that sort of stuff. And I was like, I could dig one of these. Just throwing one of these together. It's cold. It doesn't require cooking. And in the heat of the summer, when you really don't feel like cooking, especially in the RV. You don't want to have anything hot on because it gets really hot in here really quickly. So to be able to throw like a charcuterie board together would be perfect. And then I was looking at this other one, and they had breakfast boards and brunch boards and lunch boards and afternoon boards and dinner boards and supper boards. And I was sort of like, then they had holiday boards, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like a whole nother world. Wow. And then one of the sites even had a shopping list of like the essentials that you keep in your pantry to make charcuterie boards. And then of course there's all the tools and implements. You've got to have the board, and then you've got to have different sized containers to put things in. And you put the containers on first, and then you put the meats and the cheeses on for next. And then you use the containers to prop things up against. So all the crackers are all like standing up on end and all of this sort of stuff. And all these little tools, and I was sort of like, I think I'll just use a dinner plate for now. I mean, my dinner plate was perfect for me. But they were showing these beautiful, huge charcuterie boards. And I was just like, wow, there really is an art form to doing a really good charcuterie board. So that was my little bit of a shake-up. Then I had another shake-up when I was out. It was actually last night. I was out walking Zeffie, and there's this beautiful 2-year-old pup in here, and I can never remember the type of dog that she is. But her name's Chloe, and every time she sees Zeffie, and if they're out walking and I'm out walking, Zeffie's like nose to the ground, investigating everything and into everything and anything and all that sort of stuff. And I'm always looking around to see what other dogs are out. And when Chloe's out, as soon as the moment she spots Zeffie, she suddenly just sits and looks and waits. And then she'll lay down and wait as we get closer. And she loves to play with Zeffie. And they can only play on the leash because there is no off the leash park at this place. But the night before that, so that was Thursday. So Thursday night we're out, and actually no, Thursday morning we were out. And the guy who's Chloe's owner was telling us that his wife had gone into hospital with a heart attack. And I said, I'm so sorry. And she's got like 40% use of her heart. And I said, well, that's going to be a big change of living and everything else, and what she can and can't do and all that. And he says, yeah, she's got to go. We've got this rehab stuff we've got to go through, and learning different things that she can eat, dietary changes, exercise changes, because she's a very active woman. And And so we had this conversation about all of that, and then so last night when I met him, um, I said, "Oh, how are you doing?" He goes, "My wife died today." And I went, "Excuse me?" He said, "My wife passed away today." I said, "I am so sorry." So they'd been married 24 years, both of them second marriage. And he said it was just really, she said, was doing so well. He said, "We were sitting there talking today about where we wanted to go traveling next because they have the RV, where they were next going to go traveling and all of that, and um, making all these plans and everything else." And he said she was laying in bed there, and she just kind of went to scoot herself up on the pillows and goes, "Oh, that doesn't feel good. Goodbye." Boom, gone, just like that. He said she actually said goodbye. I'm like, whoa. And what had happened was is that her artery had just gone, it had basically exploded. Um, and so that I was on a shake up from that last night. And as I'm walking back, and we stood there and talked for a while, and so that's why I was late on with my genealogy and history last night. I was meant to be on at 7:15. I didn't get on until close to 7:30. So I apologize. But as well as I'm walking back, I'm hearing the faint strains, and I'm pretty sure it's Sarah McLachlan that sings the song "In the Arms of Angels." And I could hear that song just coming through, just the words floating on. It was like the words were floating on the breeze, and somebody was either singing it, or they were playing it, a video of it, or the music of it, or something. But it was just like it was just wafting in on the breeze, and you would catch it. And it was like, and as I'm walking back, I'm like, "Oh my God, is that In the Arms of an Angel? Is it?" And I'm like straining to hear the song, and meanwhile the waterworks are just going down, just running down the face and all that, and it did bring up a lot of memories and things. So my Saturday shake-up got started a little early yesterday because of this guy, and he seems to be, well, he seemed to be coping quite well. But I also know too that you can also put on a good front when you're out in the sight of others as well. Um, but the way that she went, when she just shimmied herself up on her seat because he said her bed was raised and everything, and she was just like adjusting herself, and she just went, "Oh, that doesn't feel good. Goodbye." And with that, she died. I was like, wow. So, you never know what life's journey is going to bring you when you're out there. Even in your own life, you never know what's going to happen. And that was really heart wrenching last night. And then to hear that song as I was coming back in, and then the closer I got to the RV, the clearer it got, but it wasn't anywhere close to the RV. So it was almost like it was this triangle thing. So as I turning onto the street where my RV is, I could hear it coming from like it sounded like it was coming from one of the RVs along the fence line, where I was moving away from. But the closer I got to my RV, the more distinct it got. But it was still coming from that direction. And it was just really weird. And even when we got in the RV, I could still faintly hear the sounds of it. But I was just in waterworks and everything. And then I was like, life still goes on. I got to get myself together and get on and do my genealogy and history thing. So you never know what's going to happen. You never know when you could be your last moment talking with somebody. You never know when it could be your time. So just make sure you tell those around you how much you love them. And he was telling me, and I don't even know his name. I just know the dog's name. We both know each other's dogs' names. That's it. And which is really bad on my part. I should have introduced myself. But he was telling, he said, but the good thing, we've been together 24 years, and he says we've had a really good life together. And he says we've had so many great adventures because they're both very active people. They're both in their late 60s, early 70s, very active. And he says, we've had a really good life. We've had a lot of great adventures together and all of that. And he says, I'm paid here through to the end of September. And he says, I'm not sure what I'm going to do at that time. He says, for now, we're just going to stay here and we'll figure it out in September. So, yeah, you never know. You just never know. And the last thing I wanted to talk about tonight is, only because it's happening in New Zealand right now, and I've already texted my mum, is to say Happy Mum's Day to all of the mother people out there, whether you are actually a mother, whether you are in a mothering role of some sort. If you are in a mothering role for somebody, thank you for all that you do, and may you have a super fantastic, sparkling Mother's Day tomorrow, full of love and laughter. And I don't care if you're the mother of a dog, a cat, a bird, a pigeon, only because that came up in some show I was watching the other day. I don't care if you're just a babysitter to kids that you help take care of on a regular basis. If you're in a nanny role, nannies in some ways are kind of in that mothering role as well. But if you're a mother, a grandmother, an aunt, Anybody who is in that mothering role that helps raise a child or even a pet, you know, have a super fantastic sparkling Mother's Day tomorrow. And if you're missing your mum, send up some sparkles to them. Send them some sparkles of love. And sparkles of love are the ones that come that you see down your face every now and again. And it's okay. It's okay. So have a super fantastic sparkling Mum's Day for those that are in New Zealand, Australia, going across. So I guess the day's starting to go into Asia and all of that. Dang, I get to celebrate Mother's Day a lot. It's like my birthday. Starts on one day and ends the next. Because I get to wish all the mums happy Mother's Day for 2 days, for Saturday and Sunday. So I cover all the New Zealand and Australia mums, and then I can cover the mums in the US tomorrow, and North America tomorrow, and Europe, and all of that sort of thing. So I'm just going around the globe with this. I'm just going worldwide with the Happy Mother's Day. So anyway, have a super fantastic sparkling day. I'm off to walk my pup. She's busy looking out the window. She's not making any noise, but the tail's twitching. Must be something out there that she doesn't want to jump at. But anyway, I'm going to go and take the pup for a walk and come back and enjoy, I don't know, maybe I'll make another charcuterie board for dinner tonight. Who knows? Maybe I'll just make a salad. I don't know. But we're definitely watching Dr. No and James Bond tonight to celebrate the 58th anniversary of the premiere of that movie for the first time here in the US. So have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we will catch you guys tomorrow for Serenity Sunday. Hakonera.